Right?
Right.
So I'm on nobody's side. I'm on God's side. And I think what people don't understand, because they don't do it in their own lives, is that when I hear God, Tiffany's opinions and her emotions go out the window. Because how I feel about something doesn't trump what I heard God say. I feel like we should all be having sex outside of marriage, because what's the big deal? God said, not only is a sin, but the wages of sin is death. Not only is fornication a sin, but by definition, it means idolatry. So it doesn't matter how I feel. What he said is the only thing that matters. I feel like if you say something to me, I should be able to punch you in the mouth for it, because certain people won't talk a lot if they get chin checked. But what God said was forgive them 70 times 7. So my feelings don't trump the word of God. And I feel like in this election, everybody's feelings trump the word of God. So I mentioned that she was a witch, but she's also a transformer. She's also a chameleon, because I watched a woman transform into whatever her audience needed her to be in that moment. She became a Southern belle. Hey, Pastor, how you doing today, sir? It's good to see you. I'm so glad to be here amongst the black folk. And I'm just so glad that, I just go back to my roots. And I watched her become a Mexican when she was around the Hispanics. All she needed was a sombrero. Okay? And some tacos. And I like, come on. We watched this woman change and become a chameleon into whoever she needed to be in the moment. And that should have been a red flag for everybody, because she had no identity. And I knew for sure if she had gotten to office, she would have been whoever they needed her to be in the moment, to be accepted in the moment by those people. She was a chameleon. She was not to be trusted. You want to know what the election told me? The election told me, when I saw those numbers, that them same people that was cheerleading Kamala in public voted for Trump behind the scenes. Those same people that were, I'm voting for Kamala, went in that ballot in secret and wrote in Trump's name and knew that nobody was going to see it. That's what the numbers told me. Now, as far as Trump is concerned and God saying he's Cyrus, I don't have nothing to do with that. That's what God said. What I do know after studying a little bit about Cyrus is that he was a little bit unhinged like Trump. He was a live wire like Trump. And yet God used Cyrus to fulfill a prophetic word that prophet Jeremiah gave 400 years prior to Cyrus even being born. You can find that in Ezra 1:1. So we don't know why God is used. Well, Tiffany, God can't use Kamala if she's a witch. God can use anybody. But why didn't he use Jezebel in Revelations 2:20? As a matter of fact, he said, the thing I have against the church is that she tolerated Jezebel. We have a woman that cheerleaded abortion as, I would say, about 98% of her healthcare campaign for the nation was abortion talk. We don't think anything is wrong with that. Well, Tiffany, that's the only thing you brought up for the campaign and being wrong with it. If murdering innocent babies was the only thing I ever brought up in life, is that not enough? Was that not important enough to not bring up? Because what I do know concerning a nation is, if covenants have been opened and if certain sacrifices have been made to certain deities, we've seen what happens. Famine happens, war happens, drought happens, sickness and plagues, pestilences and diseases happen. That's what happens when certain deities are sacrificed to. So I knew that this large trump for abortions was not just parading around women's rights, but there was a deity that needed to be filled. There was blood sacrifice that needed to be satisfied in order for a covenant to be enacted, and that's what they were trying to do. My job as God's prophet was to understand that if they're trying to do this aggressively, there must be a deliverer that's getting ready to be born. Because when Moses was born, they tried to kill all of them, and it was the midwives that kept him safe, even though they were under the direction in Exodus 1 under the king to kill all the male boys, I think, under the certain age of 2.
Yes.
They had to hide him. Because a deliverer is being born. Because the devil is not omnipresent, omniscient, and all-knowing. Because he didn't know where he was, but he did know he was here. Kill all of them because I can't find them. Then we have in the book of Matthew, God coming down in a dream and telling Joseph, hey, you got to go hide. King Herod is trying to kill him. Not only that, he told the wise men that too. Go a different way. He's trying to kill Jesus, baby Jesus. So the enemy knows a deliverer is getting ready to be born. They don't know where the deliverer is, so their assignment is kill all babies.